Hi, my name is Jennifer Hatch, and I am an occupational therapist here at Fluens Children's Therapy. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about ADLs and how we can help kiddos improve their ADL skills. So first question is, what is an ADL? So ADL stands for Activities of Daily Living. So these are essentially your basic tasks that we have to do every day, on a day-to-day basis to take care of ourselves. So this includes brushing teeth, brushing hair, getting dressed, going to the bathroom, washing our hands, bathing, all of those day-to-day tasks. So think hygiene, grooming, things like that. So some common reasons that a child might struggle with self-care skills is due to a developmental delay. We could have physical impairments that you might see, such as a kiddo who has CP. There might be some sensory sensitivities, so kiddos have a hard time tolerating the sensory input of bath time, teeth brushing, nail care, hair care, things like that. You can also see some behavioral or attention deficits, which kind of impact the participation in self-care skills, as well as some fine motor skills. Sometimes kiddos will struggle with manipulating buttons, fasteners, tying shoes, and things like that. So those are all common reasons why a child might struggle with self-care skills. I'm going to talk a little bit about some strategies that we use in OT to help kids combat or improve their ADL skills. So if a child is struggling due to a developmental delay, in therapy, we work on, where they are at developmentally and try to build on those skills to kind of help get them to where they need to be. Now, if the impairment is more of a physical limitation, again, such as a child who has CP, we might do some adaptive equipment, such as a universal cuff, which goes around the hand. You can slide a brush in there, a toothbrush, and then that way they only have to kind of use this type of motion over a fine motor motion. If it's more of a sensory sensitivity, we can work with you on creating a sensory diet to kind of help the kiddos get the sensory input that they're needing and help avoid some of the sensory input that might be a trigger for them. Another strategy that we use kind of across the board is a visual schedule. So that gives kiddos pictures to help them sequence through the steps of whatever the task that they're needing to work on is. Sticking to a consistent routine can also help kiddos learn, expectations, the sequencing of those steps. So sticking to a routine and combining that with the visual schedule can be very helpful for a child who struggles maybe with the participation. Maybe we have a cognitive impairment where, our communication and our language is impacted, so we can rely on those visuals to help. And kind of back to, if it's a developmental delay, we're working on those fine motor skills, visual motor skills through play. So we may be working on buttons, and we may be practicing dressing on a doll or different activities like that to promote fine motor skills or dressing. Getting good rest is part of a very healthy routine, and sometimes kiddos may be restless. We're not able to calm ourselves down before it's time to go to bed, or maybe our bedtime routine has turned into several hours because of, we can't tolerate brushing our teeth and we're being defiant. We don't want to take a bath, different things like that. So creating routines, again, super helpful. Some sensory input may also be helpful to help the child come back down to a more regulated state. So OTs, we can help give you sensory diets so that the kiddo is getting that sensory input that they need before bed. We can also teach relaxation strategies, again, just to come back down to a more regulated state to help with that restlessness so that we're able to fall asleep and stay asleep a little bit better. Again, because sleep is so vital to just daily living and brain function. So sleep is very important, and that is something that us OTs address. So if your child struggles with any self-care skills, occupational therapy is definitely the way to go. We really promote independence with self-care skills so that kids can grow and learn how to live independently. So if you are needing occupational therapy services, please don't hesitate to give us a call. We don't have a wait list right now. We can get you right in, and we hope to see you and work with you.